Good morning, students. We were doing chapter 4 of World Politics, Alternative Centers of Power. So, beta, till yesterday we have covered the topics European Union and ASEAN. Today, beta, we are going to do another alternative center of power, that is Chinese economy. You know, China is also you can say, China is also a very much fast growing economy of the world. So, how it develop, first of all we will read this. Okay, so in beginning we are just getting some information about China. So beta, China earlier was having monarchy system. In 1949 China got its independence from monarchy system under the leadership of Mao. Okay, and as it became independence, it started following the pattern of sorry pattern of USSR. Yani they decided to follow the same pattern which was followed by USSR. You know, at that time there were blocks, so it joined the block of USSR, Eastern Bloc. Okay, then but after some time, you know, what are the main drawbacks of USSR economy? है ना, it was economically backward. So China also was facing the same problem. The production was less, poverty was high, unemployment was high, per capita income was low. So after some time Chinese leader decided to change their policy, and they decided to create a state owned heavy industries. Then they decided to substitute imports by the domestic goods. Okay, yani they decided to decrease imports and to fulfill the needs of the people by producing goods in the country itself. Okay, then this model of China has allowed industrial development in China, which was earlier not happening in China. And with this industrial development in China, employment increased, per capita income increased, poverty decreased. Okay, and this China was able to give education facilities, health facilities to its people, to its citizens, and the economy also grew at a respectable rate of 5 to 6%. But an annual growth of 2-3% in population meant that economic growth was insufficient to meet the needs of the growing population. So population was also growing very fastly in China. You know, it is first largest country फॉर पॉपुलेशन इन द वर्ल्ड, है ना बेटा. सो जितनी जो डेवलपमेंट हो रही थी वो कम पड़ रही थी, बिकॉज द पॉपुलेशन वाज आल्सो ग्रोइंग वेरी fastly. Okay, so agricultural production was also less, and it was not able to fulfill the need of a big population. Industries was also not able to produce more production. So China was facing all these problems also. So its leaders decided to bring big changes in 1970s, and these big changes changed the Chinese economy. So next topic is this only beta, which factors are responsible for the rise of Chinese economy. हमने पढ़ा ना in chapter 1 and 2 we have read about the USSR के how the production was less and the people became lazy, है ना. So same all things were happening in China also, ठीक है. But in 1970s Chinese leaders decided to follow different path. What was this path? We are doing this. First of all beta देखो, China ended its political and economic isolation, and it established its good relation with the USA, है ना. अभी earlier I told you China has joined the Eastern Bloc, and you know whoever has joined the Eastern Bloc, they were not allowed to make trade relations and friendly relations with the Western Bloc. Okay, so but now in 1970s the Chinese leaders has decided to leave this path. They decided to leave the isolation policy, and they decided to make good relations with the USA especially. Okay, and you will surprise beta, you know na, China is a permanent member of Security Council. So how it became the permanent member of Security Council? With the help of USA. as it started making good relations with USA also helped it, and in 1972 with the help of USA, China became permanent member of Security Council. So it is a very big thing, very important thing. Now it also became very important country. It is also having veto power. Okay, second change which was brought was brought by the primer Zhou Enlai. Primer Zhou Enlai proposed 4 modernization in the area of agriculture, industries, science and technology, and militaries in 1973. Who introduced? Zhou Enlai. Okay, then by 1978 the then leader Deng Xiaoping announced the open door policy. Open door policy yani open market. Now every country was allowed to come and do trade in India. To do trade in China. Okay, so because of this also the trade was increased in China. Fourth change which was brought by Chinese leader was it followed its own path by introducing a market economy. The Chinese didn't go for the shock therapy. Do you remember shock therapy? Gorbachev has introduced the shock therapy, है ना, and all the changes and the economic changes rather we can say were left in the hands of common people, है ना. The state control was removed from the economic activities in shock therapy, है ना बेटा. So but the Chinese didn't took that path of shock therapy, and you know beta shock therapy was responsible for the disintegration of USSR, है ना. So but China leaders are very intelligent, so they have not adopted the shock therapy to make changes in their country. They changed their economy step by step. In Russia, what has happened? In USSR, what has happened? They introduced capitalism in agriculture as well as in industries also. Privatization was introduced in both the sector, agricultural sector and industrial sector at a time. But Chinese, what they have done, they have followed the privatization step by step. First of all, in 1982 they introduced privatization in agriculture, and the control of privatization of agriculture was completely in the hands of state government. ठीक है, it was not given in the hands of the people of the country. सेकेंड बेटा, इन 1988 जब पूरा एग्रीकल्चर में प्राइवेटाइजेशन अच्छे से हो गया, देन इन 1998 दे इंट्रोड्यूस प्राइवेटाइजेशन इन इंडस्ट्रीज, and it was also under the guidance, under the control, strict control rather we can say, of the government. Okay, देन बेटा ट्रेड बैरियर्स, एक और जो सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ है, चाइना में ट्रेड बैरियर्स वर रिमूव्ड ओनली इन सेज, स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक जोन्स. जो रशिया था, रशिया ने क्या किया, पूरे रशिया में ही जो थे ना पूरा ओपन कर दिया, कॉमन मार्केट बना दी. ठीक है, ट्रेड बैरियर्स वर रिमूव्ड इन द होल कंट्री. बट चाइना इज़ वेरी इंटेलिजेंट. उन्होंने क्या किया, they have made special economic zones, and in these special economic zones only trade barriers were eliminated, and the investors were invited, and the investment was made by the outside countries. Okay, so देखो कितने intelligent decisions लिए ना उन्होंने. So the private investors could set up their base in SEZ only, not in any other part of China. So this played very important role in the growth of Chinese economy. And beta, one data I am going to tell you, this type of SEZ led to the rise of Chinese economy. Trade was increased a lot, so many investments were made, so many industries were open in these areas. Post Mao, China established an all-time global record in doubling per capita output between 1977 and 1987. According to World Bank's Purchasing Power Parity यानी PPP estimated that China in 1994 GDP of just under $8.3 trillion has become the second largest economy in the world after USA. And beta after this, yani after 1994, the China was in condition to invest money in other countries. Earlier it was inviting, है ना, 1978 onwards it invited countries to invest money in its areas, and after 1994 it was in the condition to invest in other countries. Okay, and it also became the member of World Trade Organization. So today we will do up to here only. Goodbye.